श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्। गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् महागणपतये नमः। प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामवित्र्यवतु आनो दिवो बृहतः पर्वतादा सरस्वती यजता गन्तु यज्ञम् हवन् देवी जुजुषाणा घृताचीषग्मान्नो वाचमुशती शृणोतु वाग्देव्यै नमः। ॐ भूर्भुवः सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति।
सभी को सुप्रभात और जय मां सरस्वती. Everybody, good morning and wish you Jai Ma Saraswati. So this video this live stream I have created specially for replying to the DCCI Ministries. Actually, this video should have been created long time ago, 11 months ago, when I will give you a little bit of context that somebody called Dilip Kumar, he contacted me and he said that he was going to a Christian channel and speaking about Hinduism and defending Hinduism. And I had started reading Hindu scriptures at that time. So I told him that I can stay in the back and give him some support if that's what he's looking for. And but he never revealed to me that he was given a list of all the questions which were asked by DCCI Ministries beforehand so that he could prepare. He never forwarded me that list, and I thought I would remain in the background, and if I know the answer to any of these questions, I can look them up in the book and assist him. However, I was taken by surprise because he never showed up, and I was alone over there, and there were 5 people there: Hatun Tash, Jay, Praveen Kumar, Narendra, Sahoo, and I think one more, or maybe I'm mistaken, there are 4 of them. So or later one more person joined, I don't remember. Anyways, and I told them that I had been a Christian for 17 years and that I don't perceive Christianity as a threat, and that we should combine forces and speak about the evils in Islam. However, she just all of them spoke for 2 minutes, and they gave me 2 minutes. So in total they spoke for 8 minutes, and they gave me only 2 minutes to speak. And that was one thing. And second thing was they just supplied all the material, all the questions, one after the other, one after the other, after another, and all of them were talking. And I spoke for 2 minutes, and later I did not even require those 2 minutes because all the authentic Sanatan Dharma scriptures are Sanskrit, and translated into Hindi. And some of them have been translated into English and they may be available online. However, I'm not sure about the authenticity of those unless I read the Sanskrit, and I wouldn't know. So, let me tell you a little bit about myself that I am a seeker of truth. I don't weigh so much on religion, but I follow truth. And I believe that if we have to find, I'm a true seeker. I have spent my life, I have read Bible cover to cover, Old Testament and New Testament, and a long time ago. And I have been to several of the churches, and I wanted to know about God, and I read Islamic scriptures. I read a few Hadith books and Quran. And for the past 3 years, the more I read Islam, the more I left Christianity. So I believe that one should follow truth, and then you can meet God, because our ultimate objective is meeting God, not following a religion, but going on the path of truth, which will lead us to the Almighty. So, anyways, I wasn't even aware that DCCI Ministries that this was a channel. I was not aware about the channel beforehand. I didn't know their audience was English, and so they started making fun of me speaking in Sanskrit and Hindi. And anyways, I was not able to defend much because I couldn't show them the English translations, and they started thinking that I'm making lame excuses like Islamists make on, if you don't understand Arabic, you would not be able to understand the Islamic scriptures. So um, then I didn't pay attention for so many months. I didn't think it was so much important, because my concentration, my focus was on Islam, and to make Hindus aware about the dangers in Islam, because many of the Hindus get converted, or they think that brotherhood fascinates them in Islam, so they just leave Hinduism and they go there. I myself read these online fake stuff, and I misinterpreted Sanatan Dharma, and I went into Christianity. And Christianity was not able to solve some of my basic questions. When I was a child, I went to a Christian school and I asked them, and I was not satisfied. But since many of the Sanatan things fake were on Google, so I thought that in all, Christianity was the topmost. So I just started following Christianity. And later, when I started reading about Islam after watching a jihadi video, I discovered that all these Islam is just copied from Christianity, and so Christianity has to be evil. When I had read the Bible, my main objective was reading it and then saying that yes, I have read it, not from a critical point of view. Like, I did not analyze everything, and I was just reading for the sake of reading it. Anyways, so now, better, it is a saying that better late than never. So I have cut out the YouTube slides of the DCCI Ministries, and I have prepared an answer, a reply, because I have searched for those scriptures in English translation, so that I can actually, if in Hinduism, it is, we are encouraged to speak, to answer every question. Answering questions is considered a very intelligent activity, and we encourage asking questions. Unlike Abrahamic faiths, where asking questions is taken as not believing or having doubts about the faith, and you are pressured into just following it blindly. But Hinduism does not allow these kind of blind following. They encourage asking questions and to know about God. So since these questions were put up on Hinduism, it becomes my dharma or my righteous duty to answer them. So I have several slides, like 158 or something, so I should get going fast. So without delay, I will share you my PPT, which is just, you know, I have just dumped the all my hints and everything on in this PPT. So I'll present to you one by one, and not necessarily in the order which I was asked. So I don't remember the order, but I have tried to put all the Manusmriti together, all the Rig Vedas together. So Batman. Actually, I reside in a country where I'm not supposed to play somebody else's video. So I don't follow the Indian restrictions, but the Canadian restrictions are such that I don't feel comfortable in playing somebody else's video. Otherwise, I will have copyright um, violations. So my basic objective is to reply to every question. So I'll just share. So I'm replying to Hatun Tash, which is her, Jay, who knows Hindi, Praveen Kumar, either one of them knew Hindi, and Narendra Sahoo. And this is a DCCI Ministries channel that I went to 11 months ago. So, first of all, to begin with, I want to say something about Hinduism. Everybody's concept is, their idea is that Hinduism is like they have 33 crores of gods and goddesses, like they are innumerable. But this is false. There is only one God, and he is Brahma. There is only one God. So the rest are the Devi and Devatas. They means giving. They are always giving. So these are the gunas or the virtues. When you achieve a virtue, you become that Dev. It's a position, not a person. You personify everything. It's not a person, but a position. Like if you attain the virtues of Indra, you become Indra. If you attain the virtues of Surya or the sun god, then you become the sun. So these are positions. There is only one god in Sanatan Dharma, which is he's called Brahma. Rest of the Hinduism, I will just keep putting in wherever is required. So basically, I'm just telling you main things to achieve God. There are four major paths, although there are many paths. It is not like the Abrahamical force that you have to go in this tunnel, and this is the only thing that you have to follow. It is not like this. You can achieve God through jnana or knowledge or karma or action, or bhakti means your dedication, like you know what you call that, when you sing the hymns and do all the worship. And kriya is by activity. So there are different ways to achieve God, and these are the four major ways. And about in Hinduism, the life average life is taken to be 100 years. So the first 25 years a child has to spend with the guru getting education, and they have to be a bachelor or a spinster. It is more important for boys because boys have to feed the family. It is their righteous duty. And then next 25 years is the married life. Next 25 years is the vanaprastha, which is when you start nowadays, like okay, so vanaprastha is when you start uh, doing this worship of God and just dedicating your life to God and doing only that. So when if you're living in a household nowadays, you don't go into Himalayas and start doing meditation there, but it is that within the household You are not too much involved in the household affairs, but you give the responsibility to others, and you turn yourself towards God. And in the last 25 years is total giving of education to others, the knowledge that you have perceived, the knowledge that you have learned, you give to others and do world welfare. Okay, now coming to the first slide. So the first slide was this is the actual DCCI Ministries slide. It says Rig Veda 118, Rig Veda 334:9, Rig Veda 428:3-4, and Rig Veda 675 verses 1 to 19. So 1, 2, 2 verses, 4 verses, and then 19 verses here. So many verses they have put in just one slide. That is why this presentation is will take a long time, because there's too much. So what are Vedas? You think that they are books? No. Vedas are cosmic sounds. They are the Shabda Brahman. The cosmos is the universe in totality. So when you see a tuning fork, you see you must have done physics experiments, and when you send vibrations, the other one resonates. So when fork A resonates, the fork B begins resonating with sympathetic vibrations. So whenever there is a movement, motion, or vibration, there is a sound, and sound is the energy of vibration. So the entire universe is a composite of vibrations. This means sound energy is the framework of the universe. Every sound has a geometry. This geometry gives existence its form. So this in other words, the forms that we perceive in the universe are produced by the underlying vibrations. When you produce sound and you have particles, they will arrange themselves in a geometrical fashion. You must have seen that. So these cosmic vibrations exist as one of the 5 elements, which is the akash or the ether. So ether is misrepresented as the sky. An ordinary human cannot perceive all these vibrations in the in the cosmos, because they have limitations. A human can only hear the sounds within the range of 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. So you may be able to hear the rotation of the fan in your room, yet you are unaware of the foot drop sound of an ant in the same room. However, there are some advanced beings, some spiritually advanced rishis who could tap into these sounds. So the ancient sages of India, through intense penance, activated the superhuman abilities. So these were the rishis who achieved a paramount state of meditativeness and penance, and they received and downloaded these sounds. So various knowledge and truths about the universe were experienced in parallel to these sounds. Sound and knowledge are like eyes and sight. So you just try to imagine a pen drive or a USB stick which transfers data. Likewise, mantras, which are sound energy, is a medium to transfer this universal data, the truth of the cosmos. This is why the Vedas are said to be the very breath of God. So this is what is Vedas. I'm giving you a very deeper knowledge of what actually is Vedas. It is not about a person who calls himself God and then he asks everybody to follow him, just like in Abrahamic religions. But here it is scientific, it is proven, and it will give you knowledge. If you start reading Vedas, your eyes will open. When I first read the Vedas, tears started coming from my eyes when I read the meaning of some mantras. I was totally mesmerized. So, unlike Abrahamic faith, where you say that Adam is made out of clay, here in Hinduism, A person is made out of Panch Mahabhut, means five elements: space, earth, water, air, and fire. We have everything. Earth is our body. The water is the ratas which is flows inside us. The air is the prana or the breath. The fire is our jatragni, which is the digestive power, the digestion and energy inside our body. The space is the heart, which is called the antariksh. Now, the classification of Vedic text. That this information I'm giving you because you just Google what I found. I'm very sorry to learn, like DCCI Ministries, they didn't do any opening of actual scriptures and reading through it. They didn't want to gain knowledge. It is very unfortunate that they just Googled some places where they were making fun of Hindus and they just copy pasted. And that is not expected from a learned person, to copy paste from Google and without even knowing about the knowledge which is given. You extract and cherry pick some of the out of context things and you present them in a faulty way. That is deception and foolishness. What should I say? I'm just telling you the actual some of the insights into Vedas so that you know the depth of it. You cannot even fathom the real depth which is contained and real knowledge which is the level of knowledge which is contained in the Vedas. So, frankly speaking, Vedas and have each Veda. There are four Vedas: Rig Veda, Sama Veda, Yajur Veda, and Atharva Veda. And each Veda has a Samhita portion, a Brahmana portion, an Aranyak portion, and an Upanishad, which is the philosophical text. So from these Rig Veda, you can get Rig Veda Samhita, then there'll be an Atreya Brahman in it. Then there is Atreya Aranyak, because each has an Aranyak and then an Atreya Upanishad attached to it. Sama Veda, similarly, and Yajur Veda and Atharva Veda. I'm not going through everything, otherwise I won't be able to finish all my slides. But I will just tell you, Rig Veda has all about nature. And these Vedas were given as in 7 chandas by God, and these rishis, penance, who could tap into the cosmic sounds. They received this data, the cosmic data, which is received from the gods. These rishis produced it, and from that, the other rishis expanded on them and made classified them into 4 different categories. Rig Veda contains all the nature. Sama Veda has all the worship. Yajur Veda has all the the what you call, it's like a yajna, which you call as sacrifice. It is not sacrifice. They are all without any kind of violence. We only use the vegetative medicine, the herbal medicine. You won't say medicine. These are medicines also. These are herbal products that you use inside, and the cow butter that you use inside these, and when you chant the mantras. And now even the West has found that they bring the rainwater cycle, and this was the knowledge contained in the ancient times. Anyways, and Atharva Veda has all the diseases and their solutions, like to cure, basically. So Shruti is that which is heard. So these Vedas, how they were preserved, we have only 10% left actually. 90% have been lost, but whatever of each branch has been preserved. So they are Shruti, means which is heard, because they were passed on from a guru to a disciple. And here it says that Rig Veda, Samhita, and Brahman has the ritual explanation, the Aranyak has forest treaties, and Upanishad are philosophical treaties. Anyways, let's go to your slide. So in this you showed, like I said, this was your slide in which the first one was 118 Rig Veda. Okay, so let's go there. I wanted to give you a small concept before we started. That's why. So Rig Veda 118. So I have marked it because I had to search for the English version. So Rig Veda 118 is. Let me open it. So this is 118. He much invoked hath slain Dasyus and Simyus after his wont and laid them low with arrows. So the question is, who are Dasyus? Dasyus and Simyus. Who are Dasyus and Simyus? You know, Dasyus are those people who are called Dakus. And you know who are Dakus? Dakus are bigger than robbers. Like robber is a petty criminal, but Daku come in like ancient times. Dakus used to come on horsebacks, and they used to come in groups with their weapons, and they used to kill the travelers and loot their or rob them of their property in the daytime. Like thieves will come when you are asleep. But these robbers, or big time robbers, like they're not only robbers, they are plunderers, actually plunderers. Like Muhammad of Islam, the prophet, the fake prophet Muhammad, he was a dasyu, you can say, because he used to loot the caravans and take their property. So that is a proper word for dasyu. And shimyu, let's see. Going back to my slide. Um, Sorry, what am I doing? Where's the slide? Yeah. So if you see, where this is from the Vedas. Dasyu va Shimyu ka vad. This is the 18th one. This is the very verse that you're asking. So it says, if I read the Sanskrit properly, because see here they will give the rishi attached. Whenever you see a Vedic mantra, how do you know it is the fake one or the authentic one? Like I showed you the English one, it doesn't give you the rishi attached with it or the devata. So the devata means this whole mantra is dedicated to the devata, and the devata is Indra, and the rishi is a Vrashagiro, who is the seer. The rishi is the seer. Uh, they have perceived this cosmic data. This is the seer, and this mantra is dedicated to Indra. So the explanation will be all uh, in relevance to Devata Indra. So when the English one doesn't reveal the Devata and the Rishi attached to the mantra, it just gives you a list of, read this. Like, see, these are all the verses given for the English, but no Devata, and it says, Indra. So this Devata is given Indra. So what do you mean by Indra? There are three kinds of worlds. There is this one physical world. There is one, in every Vedic mantra, it has three types of meanings. One is this physical world, one is the Adidevic world, and one is the Adhyatmic world, which is the spiritual world. So one is the Dev world, one is the human world, and one is the spiritual world. So everything has three meanings to it. So now, what does this mean? That Indra means, now your eyes, ears, nose, what are they? They are your Indriyas, Indriya, and the lord of the sense organs is Indra. So Indra is the lord of the sense organs. So if you control all your sense organs, which are two eyes, two ears, uh, two nostrils, and one mouth, and mind and intelligence. So these are the all the sense organs. And if you do not watch porn, listen to dirty stuff, smell bad things, control all your sense organs, you become Indra. So these verses are Indra. And who are your enemies? Your enemies are lust, anger. So that is in the Adidevic world. In the physical world, Dasyus, meaning plunderers. He invoked had slain Dasyus and Simyus, who are Now this explanation of dasyu and simyu, if I open the Hindi one, it gives me the meaning of dasyu and simyu, which is uh, see over here it will say, I will show you in other places also, because it comes in many of your slides. See, rakshas vritti ke purushon ko. Rakshas vritti means people who have a demonic nature, who are sadistics. See, dasyun means in Sanskrit, the dasyun, the actual literal meaning of dasyu is given here, औरों का उपक्षय करने वाले, means the one people who are uh, uh, like who torture other people and they destroy them. Or shimyun. Shimyu means a shamayiritan. It's a Sanskrit word. Shamayiritan means a vad kar dene wali rakshas vratti ke purushon ko. Means the demonic nature of people who like to kill others. So these are the two type of people whom we should kill. Like in our body, we should kill the lust, and these are like the demons. And in the physical world, so where's my slide? Yeah. So he much invoked had slain dasyus and simyus. So what is wrong in killing the dasyus and simyus? There is nothing wrong in killing people who are serial killers, who are plunderers, and his want and laid them low with arrows. Okay, let's go back to your slide. Um, I'm confused. So many things I opened beforehand, so that um, where did the slide go? Yeah. So next goes Rigved 3:34-9. So this one also I have opened it. 9. He gained possession of the sun and horses. Indra obtained the cow who feedeth many. Treasure of gold he won. He smote the Dasyus. Again, the word Dasyus have come, and I don't have to explain it again. And gave protection to the Aryan color. So Aryas were, when you call somebody a gentleman, you say he's an Arya. Means he has all the ideal qualities, meaning he is an Aryan. And non-Aryan is a person who doesn't follow the dharma. So it's a general term given to any good person who follows dharma. He's called an Arya. And Anarya is called a person who doesn't follow the dharma, meaning the righteous duty. So he gave protection to the people who were following the righteous duty, and he killed the ones who were the plunderers. So I don't see anything wrong with it. Let me keep closing these, because otherwise it will become too much. Okay, next. So in this, when I open in the Hindi Sanskrit one, it says that प्रभु घोड़ों गौओं व स्वर्ण धनों को हमारे लिए प्राप्त कराते हैं, प्रभु ही प्राण संचय के लिए सूर्य का उदय करते हैं, हमारी दास्य व वृत्तियों को भी प्रभु ही नष्ट करते हैं, हम आर्य बनते हैं और प्रभु से रक्षणीय होते हैं. So in this mantra, they are explaining the Devata is Indra again, and that Lord, he provides us all the animals and all the physical world wealth, and he makes the sun rise. He destroys the demonic nature within us, and then we become the Aryas, and we are protected by God. So I don't see anything wrong in there. That's a beautiful mantra. So, oh shit, did I close my... one second, I closed my PowerPoint by mistake. Okay. Then next comes Rig Veda 4:28:3 and 4:28:4. So I have already opened this. So it's also it's dedicated to Devata Indra Somau. So Indra Somau means Indra is who I explained you. Indra is the lord of the sense organs. Who is Som? Now, if when you are a teenager specifically, and when you don't masturbate and you save the semen inside you, and for girls who save the raj inside them, they that is the fuel which gets consumed in the body, and it is called Som. Okay, I'm giving you very deep knowledge which nobody might will tell you. This is called Som, and this is the fuel which gives you intelligence. That's why some people have more intelligence and some have less. Some people have a nice physical body which is strong, when some don't. So that is the difference. So he in this mantra they say hum indra bane jitendriya bane, means we become what, we become the somebody has come in the back. I can hear, please don't join in the back. I don't know who is there. Oh, Indraji. Yeah. Indraji, I'm just going to be, this is not, I'm not asking anybody to come. I'm just doing answering all the Hindu.
नमस्ते
Yeah. Indraji.
नमस्ते
Indraji.
नमस्ते मेरा पुराना माइक्रोफोन खराब हो गया है
No,
तो
no,
नया माइक्रोफोन
Indraji,
एक कारण करके
please moderate
और
from
मैं थोड़ा
downstairs.
बिजी भी था हाँ आप क्या बोल रहे हैं
Indraji, please moderate from down, because I'm not. This is not sharing one, because this is an English stream, and I'm just replying to one of the DCCI ministries. You have missed it. Please go and watch it. So go and watch it from down. Okay. So so where was I? Yeah. So in this one, sorry, I didn't share it probably. Okay, Indraji, please leave the panel, and you don't have to sit in the back. Today, I'm not going to ask you to join. Okay, so going back. So in this one, so the Devata is Indra Somo, and I said the Indra is the lord of the sense organs, and Som is when you save the, if you don't masturbate and save the semen and raj inside you, that becomes the Som, which is a fuel which makes your body strong and gives you intelligence. So in this mantra, they say that we should become Indra, and we should become the controller. Jitendriya means you become Indra, and Agni bane means you become fire. Pragatishil, Agni refers to progress. तभी हम यौवन में वासनाओं को जीत पाएंगे, मीन्स दैट वी विल कंट्रोल ऑल द लस्ट इन आवर लाइफ. इस कठिन जीवन मार्ग में यदि हम यज्ञादि कर्मों में प्रवृत्त रहते हैं तो प्रभु हमारी वासनाओं का संहार करते हैं. सोमरक्षण हमें वासना विजय के लिए समर्थ करता है. So all this mantra is saying that if we do yajnas, which I said that you chant mantras and all, then God will provide you assistance in defeating lust in your life. So you have to protect the Som. The Som is that semen inside you, or the raj inside you, which through the pranayam or the breathing yoga, it gets consumed as fuel in your body. So then you become victorious. So let's go back to this in the English ones, because you would like to find out what is 4:28:3 and 4. I already read it to you, but and the fourth one also I'll explain it. Then I'll explain from the English that the third one I already explained you. This one is Devata is again the Indra Soma, which is Indra and Som, and it says हम जितेंद्रिय बनकर दायस्व वृत्तियों से ऊपर उठे, means we should become Indra, and meaning controlling the sense organs, and we should become above the dayasva vritti, means the plunderer nature. We should get above the plunderer nature, क्रियाशील बनकर प्रशस्त जीवन वाले हो, means we should do labor, like hard work in our life. जितेंद्रियता व सोमरक्षण द्वारा सब शत्रुओं को पराजित करें. This means that once you are the master of your sense organs and you protect the som, then you can defeat all the enemies. So now let's see from English also, because you want to see from English. So this is what it says, 3 and 4. So it says, Indra smote down. I hope it is big enough. Okay. Indra smote down, Agni consumed. O Indu, the Dasyus are the noontide in the conflict. Of those who gladly sought a hard-won dwelling, he cast down many 1,000 with his arrow. Lower than all beside hast thou, O Indra, cast down the Dasyus. And I already explained the meaning of Dasyu is a plunderer, abject tribes of Dasas. Ye drave away, ye put to death the foemen, and took great vengeance with your murdering weapons. So Indra, again Indra and Soma, I explained you, Indra is the lord of the sense organs and Soma is the semen, is the protector of semen. So these are, the meanings are in the 3 worlds. So here, Indra has cast down. So once you control all your sense organs, all the dasyus or these attacking plunderers in your body are the lust, the anger, and the greed. And in the physical world, it's the plunderers. So this is how you can, Indra defeats them. He's the controller of all your sense organs. So now it will make sense to you. Okay, let me close this site. And let me close this also. Now let's go to back to our main. Now come to Rig Veda 675, 1 to 19 verses. So I have already marked page 589 on in my Rig Veda, because so let me see. So Rig Veda is here, is the 75. I just want to see the Devata who is Varma. So oh my God, this is such a beautiful sutta, beautiful in the sense that it is just talking about, I can see there are 19 verses and I'll read the title. In the first one it says Kavach ki Mahima, means the importance of, it's talking about when somebody, when you are in a war, in a battle, then the importance of shield. The importance of shield is the first one. Second one is Dhanush Dwara Vijay, means the bow will bring you victory. The third one is Dori, means the bow has the thread attached. It's talking about that thread. The fourth is R3 Dhanush Koti. These are parts of a bow and arrow. And Ishudhi is Tarkas. It's the container in which you put all the arrows. And sixth one is Sarathi, the one who drives the chariot. The chariot driver is called Sarathi. In ancient times, when the battles were fought, the chariot driver used to drive the king to the place, and the kings used to fight with kings. All the wars had an war ethics, like the king would fight king, an elephant, a person on elephant will fight a person on elephant, a person on the back of a horse will fight another horse rider, a person who is on foot will fight a person on foot. And there will be no war after the sun goes down. So there were some rules people followed. And even, in Hinduism, there are so much beauty that once you start knowing Hinduism, you will be, I don't have words to say, I'm speechless. They blow conch so that any woman who has come in the battlefield should run away, because Hindus never capture women. And if any king loses, his wife is returned back to her kingdom with honor. And I will show you verses even how king should treat another king after that other king loses the battle. So there are so much, it's not like you have read in either Bible or in Quran or all these wars where they are looting people and this that. Never, never. And even when is if there is a bad king or something and he's doing a lot of atrocities and you defeat him, you don't take away his kingdom. You give it to the family member of that particular king only. So we had so much of ethics, such high ethics that you will not be able to even imagine that. Ashvaha. So the seventh verse is about Ashva, means the horses. Rath. This whole sukta of 19 verses are talking about the importance of these things in a battle. So Rath means chariot. Rath Gopaha means the people who are driving these, not the driving, like, what will I say? Rath Gopas are people who are, like patriotic people towards their nation and towards their king, and for the, like, patriotic people. Then Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, these are the three categories of people. So three categories, like according to not birth, but according to to their skills. Like if a person has 4 sons, and one son is only interested in reading, one son like goes to the gym, one son likes to plant seeds and do farming, one son wants to not study anything or do anything, but he just wants to, so he'll be made to serve others. So those are the 4 kinds, but here only 3 kinds are written: Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, according to the skills. And one family can have all 3, because if your child is showing interest in reading, so he'll become a Brahmin. But if your son, another son, your second son is showing interest in farming, he'll become a Vaishya. So these were varnas, they are not castes. This caste word was introduced by the British when they came, or the English, whenever when they invaded India. We had varnas, and varnas were there in every household. Every child, depending on what interest he had, he became of one of these varnas. So this mantra tells about that all the Brahmins in the kingdom should educate people, all the Kshatriyas should protect the people, and Vaishyas should do the farming, um, and provide food. Ishavaha means, uh, I have, and the Devata is also Ishavaha. So these are talking about arrows. Then Som Aditi, Som, again you know what is Som, the semen and the Raj. Aditi is the god of health. So this is just talking about that how you have to protect yourself by using a shield, and that health and the Som should be protected. Then 13th one is Pratodaha. Pratodaha means the thing that makes a horse go faster. You have, I don't know what you call that. Yeah, he says the hip and the coins. The the when you slightly tap on the horse, he runs faster. That thing. I'm not remembering the word. Then the 14th one is Hastagna, means the how you will have your arms during the bow and arrow, how you place your hand. It's talking about that. Then 15th one is Alakta issue, which means that about arrows which are poisonous arrows. Then 16th one is talking about Sharavya issue, meaning that when you think hard and focus, and then you leave, then you place the arrow. And then 17th one is talking about how to protect yourself in a battlefield. Then 18th one is talking about Varma, Som and Varuna. So Varma means shield, and Som you already know, and Varun is the god of removing hatred. So you don't have to hate your enemy. So you don't have to hate enemy, but peace is always desirable. But if they are attacking you, then you have to defend yourself. So Brahma Varm Mam Antaram. So the next one is that everybody is your family. You know, like Hinduism says the whole world is your family, but this mantra says Brahma Varma Mam Antaram, means if you have a relative or somebody close to you, either far or near, um, and who wants to kill you, then God should protect against such relatives. That's it. And now, if you want to read this in English, I can show you the English thing also. 1 second. So these are the 19 verses, weapons of war. Now you're wondering, I don't know why you're showing this in the slide. Why do you want to know about the weapons of war? Because this is when the war is happening and people have attacked you. Then how should the warrior look like? Rain clouds, should be victorious, let the bow. And see, it's all I talked to you about. It's written here. So it's so many comparisons have been made of similes, you know, like the boy is like this, he's like a mother or child, and I don't find anything. Horses, car bearer, or chariot bearers. Then Brahmans and father means. So basically, I explained you the meaning of Indra and Soma and Aditi and Varun. So that's all. See, yeah, that's the word, the whip. So the whip was the word that you make the horses go faster. So this whole thing is about battlefield and how all these elements in a battlefield, how should you protect yourself? And I don't know why you have put this as an objection in your slide. So let's go to the second one now. That was the first slide. Imagine, it took me like more than 40 minutes to explain that. Then you said about ethnic cleansing is Sanatan Dharma. You quoted Mahabharat Adi Parva section 104. And when the earth was thus deprived of Kshatriyas by the great Rishi, the Kshatriya ladies all over the land had offspring raised by Brahmanas skilled in the Vedas. It has been said in the Vedas that the sons so raised belongeth to him that had married the mother, and the Kshatriya ladies went into Brahmanas not lustfully but from motives of virtue. Indeed, it was thus that the Kshatriya race was revived. Okay, so first of all, it is deception. I think that DCCI Ministries should actually read the whole Adi Parva in order to understand this. Quoting and cherry picking one or two lines without context and presenting it as a bad is wrong. So you have done deception. I'll tell you why. Because the same thing you have written the earlier part of it and the middle part you have removed and you have presented in another slide. And so I'll show you. First of all, before even showing you that, let me tell you about the Varnas. Like I already said, I will come back to this slide. First, let me tell you that there are 4 Varnas, like I already said, that it does not depend on your birth. It depends upon the skills. So a Brahmana wants to read, who is a learned person. A Kshatriya is a person who is interested in bodybuilding, fighting, things like that. Vaishya is a person who likes farming and supporting the community through and providing food. Shudra is a person who doesn't want to be any one of these 3 categories. So he doesn't want to study, he doesn't want to go into protecting the nation or the people, and who does not want to provide food also. So he doesn't want to do anything, so he will serve others. So every family has many of these kinds they must have seen. I have never seen all sons nice. Some sons are doing very high, very good in schools and universities, while some sons are not like that. So they will be Shudras. In the same family, you can have all four Varnas. So in Vedic culture, everyone is considered to be born as Shudra. Everyone. Then based on his or her education, one becomes a Brahmin, Kshatriya or Vaishya. This completion of education is considered to be the second birth. Hence, these three varnas are called Dvija or twice born. Twice born is when they complete the education, they become twice born. And it's generally the Brahmins who go for the education, so they are called twice born. But those who remain uneducated for whatever reasons are not discarded from society. They continue as Shudra and perform support activities for the society. A son of Brahmin, if he fails to complete his education, becomes a Shudra. Similarly, son of a Shudra or even a Dasyu, if he completes his education, can become a Brahmin, Kshatriya or Vaishya. This is pure meritocracy. See, it is based on merit. If somebody is meritorious, they will do that according to their skill and capabilities. The way degrees are accorded today, Yajnopavit was provided in the Vedic system. So when a Brahmin completed his education, he was offered a Yajnopavit. This is a ritual in which they are provided a thread that they wear on their body. So for seeing the thread, people knew that, oh, he is a learned person. So just like you carry your degree certificates. Further, non-compliance with the code of conduct for each varna could result in taking away the Yajnopavit. So this is like a degree which was accorded. And Yajnopavit was provided to even women, men, everybody. There is this Yajnopavit ritual, which is like a graduation ceremony. And there is a code of conduct for each varna. The Brahmins, since they were educated, they were penalized more than the Shudras who did not study anything. So examples, I have many of change of varnas. For example, Atreya Rishi was the son of a dasa or criminal, but became a Brahmin of the highest order and wrote Atreya Brahman and Atreya Upanishad. Atreya Brahman is considered critical to understanding Rig Veda. So he was a criminal. He was actually, this is a spelling mistake, it is a dasyu. He was a dasyu, meaning he was a plunderer, a criminal. But he became a Brahmin by studying, by educating himself. So you can transfer. And in our old ancient Vedic society, the people were transferable. Like if suppose they were not studying earlier, but they can study later and become a Brahmin later. So example of another example is Ailush Rishi was the son of a Dasi, a gambler and a low character. However, he researched on Rig Veda and made several discoveries. Not only he was invited by rishis, but also made an acharya, according to Atreya Brahman 2.19. Then Satyakam Jabal was the son of a prostitute, but he became a Brahmin. So I just dropped all these, so don't see the beauty of my slides. I didn't put a bullet point here and all because I didn't have time. I just draw. I don't get time, so many time in my day to do research and make it beautify everything. So Satyakama Jabal was son of a prostitute. See, but he became a Brahmin. So Prishad was the son of a king Daksha, but he became a Shudra. So he was a king, but he became a Shudra. Further, he did tapasya to achieve salvation after repenting. Vishnu Puran 4.1.14 had tapasya been banned for Shudra as per the fake story from Uttar Ramayana, how could Prishad do so? This is another logic for somebody asking from Uttar Ramayana, which is fake. Nabhag, son of King Nedishtha, became Vaishya, means he became a farmer. Many of his sons again became Kshatriya. So his sons became Kshatriya or the protectors, warriors. Vishnu Puran 4.1.13. Then Drisht was son of Nabhag, who was a Vaishya, you already know that, but became a Brahmin. And his son became a Kshatriya. So he was a Vaishya. He was the son of a Vaishya, but he became a Brahmin and his son became a Kshatriya. So you see in the family, the 2 generations, 3 generations, they are different varnas. Further in his generation, some became Brahman. Again, Vishnu Puran 9.2.23. Then, as per Bhagavad, Agni Vaishya became Brahmin, though he was born to a king. Then Rathotar, who was born in a Kshatriya family, became a Brahmin as per Vishnu Puran and Bhagavad. Harith became Brahmin, even though he was born to a Kshatriya, Vishnu Puran 4.3.5. Shaunak, he became a Brahmin, though he was born in a Kshatriya family, Vishnu Puran 4.8.1. In fact, as per Vayu Puran, Vishnu Puran, and Harivansh Puran, sons of Shaunak Rishi belong to all four Varnas. Similar examples exist of Grit Samad, Vithavya, and Vrit Samati. Then Matanga, he was the son of a Chandal. You know, Chandal, they look after the dead bodies. But he became a Brahmin. Ravan was born from Pulatse Rishi, but he became a Rakshas or a demon. But he was born of a Rishi. Pravriddha was the son of a Raghu king, but he became a demon, Rakshas. Trishanku was a king, but he became a Chandal, meaning the person who looks after dead bodies. So sons of Vishwamitra, who is a Rishi, they became Shudra. Vishwamitra himself was a Kshatriya, who later became a Brahmin. Vidur, he was the son of a servant, but he became a Brahmin and minister of the whole entire big Hastinapur empire. You know, Hastinapur empire is Mahabharata. You see about Hastinapur empire. It's a story of Hastinapur empire. If you go into Manusmriti, which is our ancient law book, if you see 8.337 and 338 verses, it says, if one conducts a theft willingly and in full senses, knowing that the implications, he should be penalized 8 times that of ordinary thief if he is a Shudra. The penalty should be 16 times if he is a Vaishya, 32 times if he is a Kshatriya, and 64 times if he is a Brahmin. See, because Brahmins are learned, they will be punished 64 times more. The punishment can be even 100 times or 128 times if he is a Brahmin. In other words, the punishment should be directly proportional to knowledge and social status of the criminal. So you see now, if a Catholic priest, he molests a boy, he commits pedophilia on a little boy, he should be penalized several times more than ordinary court of law. An ordinary pedophile, whatever you punish to a pedophile, whatever punishment an average pedophile gets, a Catholic priest should get much more than that punishment. You know why? Because he was the person who was responsible for protecting the child. He was in such a position, so he should be penalized more. For example, if a person in a judiciary or in a higher position, if a teacher rapes a student, he should be, according to Manusmriti, he should be penalized much more, because he's a Brahmin, because he's in the teaching business and he has done this crime. So an ordinary rapist, if a Shudra commits rape compared to a Brahmin commits a rape, a Brahmin will be penalized much more. Then Manusmriti 10.65 asserts that a Brahmin can become a Shudra and Shudra can become a Brahmin. So it is interchangeable. Similarly, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas can also change their Varnas. And let me tell you, in Rwanda, there were 3 tribes. One were the Pygmies, one were the Tutsis, and one were the I'm forgetting the name. One were the Tutsi and one were another one, Mahima or something. And so the Tutsi had, when their cattle was less, they were called Tutsi. And when their cattle was more, they were called Mahoma or whatever. So the Tutsi, if they acquired more cattle, they would automatically become Mahoma. And the Mahoma, if they lost the cattle, they would automatically become Tutsi. But when the Belgians started doing this, the Aadhaar card or the PAN card or social service card, not social service, like the social insurance number type of a card allocation, then the Tutsi remained a Tutsi and the Mahoma remained a Mahoma. Otherwise, they were interchangeable before, but later on, when they started making those cards, then the Mahoma could not become a Tutsi and Tutsi cannot become a Mahoma. That happened in Rwanda under Belgian and Germans who did the classification. Similarly, when English came to India, they started all these classification and called castes, and the Brahmin remained a Brahmin or the Shudra remained a Shudra. It was not in our culture. We have so many examples, like it is filled, our books are filled with examples. In a same family, there are 4 Varnas and all that. Manusmriti 2:238 said one should acquire knowledge even from a person born in a low family. Otherwise, similarly, one should accept a noble woman as wife even if her family is otherwise not up to mark. If a person is poor but she is a noble birth, they accept that girl from a family. So now coming back to your slide, which is this slide. These are all the explanations I gave about Varna, but the actual slide that you showed was this one, ethnic cleansing. Now let's come to this, which I called deceptive, because you quoted this small paragraph without quoting the context and anything. Adi Parva section 104. So you said that the entire Kshatriya race was revived. So let us see this. So there is a mythology, like real name of Sahasra Arjun was Arjun. Arjun, you know the story of Mahabharata. Mahabharata is history. It is not our, first of all, Mahabharata is history. It is not our holy scriptures. Our holy scriptures are only the Bhagavad Gita and the Vedas. So you are quoting from Mahabharata, which is history. So these are ordinary people, and you are quoting them as if they are gods. But like Swami Kriyanand says that Hinduism is worship of ideals, not idols, but ideals. So this Dattatreya was pleased with his penance and asked him to, I think I'm opening the other one, right? Okay, so he received 100,000 blessings, 10,000 blessings from Dattatreya, so that's why he was called Sahasrarjun. Anyways, what am I seeing is, so once upon a time, Sahasra Arjun with his entire army crossed through the forest to reach the ashram of Janamdagni. So who is Janamdagni? We have to read that too. It is said that Mahishmati king Sahasra Arjun had stalled all pride. In his pride, people were stricken with its atrocities and incest. So this guy, he was the king of Mahishmati kingdom, and he was called Sahasra Arjun because he had received 10,000 blessings from Dattatreya. And he was like Arjun, he was like a warrior. So he had received blessings also. So he became too much powerful. So he started doing atrocities and causing incest. So in insulting the Brahmins by misrepresenting Puran and religious texts and destroying the ashram of the rishis and killing them without any cause, and constantly persecuting the innocent people. Even so, they are stuck in the item for their entertainment, had also started to destroy. So once upon a time, Sahasra Arjun with his entire army crossed through the forest to reach the ashram of Janamdagni. So Maharshi Janamdagni did not leave any kind of effort in hospitality, as he had considered as a guest of ashram. So it is said that the sage Janamdagni had a wonderful cow named Kamdhenu with the divine qualities received from Devraj Indra. So the Maharshi arranged for the whole army food only after seeing the help of that cow. So I'll cut short it. See, he had this rishi lived in the forest, and he had a divine cow, and she used to produce whatever you desired in your mind. She used to produce. So he provided a whole army food So this guy was greedy, this king who was doing atrocities, and he was like bewildered to see this cow, and he thought, why should a rishi in the jungle have this kind of a divine cow? And he wanted the cow. So he asked to give this Kamdhenu the name of the cow, but the sage said no. He's in his mind the lust of seeking such a wonderful cow. So so he asked Kamadhenu with sage Janmadagni, but Rishi Janmadagni refused Kamdhenu to give Kamdhenu as the only means of managing the ashram, because he used to survive on that Kamdhenu. So this guy offered him a lot of money and everything, but he did not part with his cow. So Sahasrarjun became angry and devastated the ashram of the sage Janmadagni and started taking Kamadhenu. At that time, Kamadhenu departed from the hands of Sahasrarjun and went towards heaven because she was a divine cow. He forcibly tried to acquire that cow, so it left and went back to the divine heaven. So when Parshuram reached his ashram, his mother, because Janamdagni's son was Parshuram, the rishi, when he reached his ashram, his mother told him about everything that had happened. So Parshuram was very angry because after seeing the disrespect of the parents and the condition of the ashram, he did something to the yeah. So mighty Parshuram resolved to destroy the Crusaders, Sahasrarjun and his army at the same time. Parshuram accompanied his Parshu weapon and reached the city of Vishakadanam, where the battle of Sahasrarjun and Parshuram occurred. So, but the bravery of Parshuram proved to be great dwarf in front of the force, because he had a whole army. So, Lord Parshuram bitten the thousands of arms and trunks of the wicked Sahasrarjun and killed him. So he killed Sahasrarjun, and he had 1,000 arms or something, so he bit all. After the execution of Sahasrarjun on the orders of the father, he went on a pilgrimage to Parsuram to perform the atonement of this slaughter, because he had committed violence, even though he had punished him for doing this plunder in his ashram, but he had to atone because he's a rishi. He's not supposed to indulge in violence. Then, after getting the opportunity, sons of Sahasrarjun cut the head of Jandagni. So Parshuram's fathers, when he left to do the penance, they came behind and cut his head, his father's head. So, and many Kshatriyas, these warriors, were involved in cutting the head. And then they burned the ashram and they killed all the innocent sages, all the rishis in the ashram. So the mother, Renuka, she cried and she called her son. And the son heard the call, because, you meditate and then you send those vibes and telepathy, whatever, and reached the ashram, and he saw his mother mourning, and near the mother saw the father's cut head and 21 wounds on his body. So Parshuram was very angry and sworn that he would not only destroy the higher dynasty, but his associates would destroy all the Kshatriya clan 21 times and destroy the Kshatriya land. So this is the story behind it. That's why he killed all the Kshatriyas, because they had done this. They had collaborated with this Sahasrarjun and done misdeed and cut his father's head and all that. So and they were devil people. So what slide you showed me, that so he deprived the Kshatriyas. So that's what it is. So this is the whole story, that the whole Kshatriya race was revived, because now when all the Kshatriyas were dead, so how will the Kshatriyas will be born? Because every society needs warriors. So then the Brahmins married these Kshatriya women, and that's how the Kshatriya race was revived. So I don't see what's wrong in the history, and why are you trying to lay a hand on Sanatan Dharma by pointing at history? This is all in history, and this is what happened. And this all I explained to you. Okay. So yeah, so I read that. So let's go to the third one. We have 26, I think, points. So we are just on the third one. So section 122 of Adipar. Again, this is Adipar's, which is Mahabharat. It's a history. And here I say, but I shall now tell these about the practices of old, indicated by illustrious rishis, fully acquainted with every rule of morality. O thou of handsome face and sweet smiles, women formerly were not immured within houses and dependent on husbands and other relatives. They used to go about freely, enjoying themselves as best as they liked. O thou of excellent qualities, they did not then adhere to their husbands faithfully, and yet, O handsome one, they were not regarded sinful, for that was the sanctioned usage of the time. That very usage is followed to this day by birds and beasts without any exhibition of jealousy. That practice, sanctioned by precedent, is applauded by great rishis. O thou of taper thighs, the practice is yet regarded with respect among the northern Kurus. Indeed, that usage so lenient to women hath the sanction of antiquity. So this one is I'll read from the website. I have made note of these because later on, if somebody asks me the same question, I can tell them. What was this? Okay. So this is the one of taper thighs. And so now in this one, let's see your only. Let's read from your slide only. I don't see anything wrong in it. He is just saying this practice in this the women he's talking that in olden times women were independent and they used to they had equal enjoyed equal freedom like men, and people were not jealous just like birds and beasts, they are not jealous, and women were like this in olden times. But they you have again quoted partially, because this further says, but this practice is stopped now because of the Vedas, which I was just trying to show by reading the whole thing, but I have like 168 slides. I don't know how we will finish them. Uh, so here they say that they do not adhere to their husbands faithfully. They are not regarded sinful, for that was sanctioned usage of time. See, um, so this Uddalak had a son called Shvetaketu who stopped this practice. So it's a good thing that he stopped this practice. And Mahabharata is history. It is not our spiritual book. It is not our holy scripture. If I open any history book and start talking about the Dark Ages or talk about the Christian invasions, then where are you? Now let us talk about Dharma. So Manusmriti, if you see 692, it says what is Dharma is a righteous duty. Like the sun gives us heat and light. That is the duty of the sun. That is the Dharma of the sun. Dharma doesn't mean religion. Dharma means the righteous duty. So everybody has to do their righteous duty, and Sanatan Dharma, which is Hinduism, is righteous duty. These are the 10 qualities one should have. Dhriti, which is patience, forgiveness. Dam means control over your mind. Asteya means not stealing. Shoch means 4 types of purity. Purity of body, mind, speech and deeds. Indriya Nigraha, I just told you a little bit earlier about Indra means controlling all your senses. Good brain. Vidya means knowledge, public welfare knowledge. Truth is doing welfare work for the world, and anger is not to be angry on things. And now let me tell you, the Hindu scriptures are basically the hearing ones and the memory ones. And itihas means history, and here it is, see, Ramayana and Mahabharata are both history. They are considered as history. The Puranas are ancient texts. They are not our holy scriptures. our holy scriptures are only these four Vedas and the Bhagavad Gita, which is a section in the Mahabharata that happened in history. That's it. But these are all history and philosophy and other books. And you are quoting from different types of books, not from our holy scriptures. Let's come to the fourth point. The fourth point is Adi Parva section 123, Kunti having 3 children out of ascetic gods. The celebrated Pandu, tempted by the desire of having more children, wished to speak again unto his wedded wife for invoking some other god. But Kunti addressed him, saying, the wise do not sanction a forced delivery even in a season of distress. The woman having intercourse with 4 different men is called a Swarini Hienton, while she having intercourse with 5 becomes a harlot. Therefore, O learned one, as thou art well acquainted with the scripture on this subject, why dost thou? Meaning, there is nothing wrong. This Pandu is the king of Hastinapur. He is talking to his wife Kunti, and they had 3 children. Like Pandu was cursed that he had killed um, somebody who was copulating in the form of a deer with his wife, and he didn't know, and his arrow shot them. So he cursed Pandu that he cannot copulate. So now if he starts to copulate, he will die. So Pandu had this curse, so he could not copulate with Kunti. So what Kunti did was she meditated and she invoked the gods. And when gods bless you with child, they don't have sex. They just say, "Oh, bless you," and then the child comes in the lap of the lady. So that's how they get. They don't have intercourse. Gods never have intercourse. They are so powerful that even a thought, like if you go into Matsya Puran, Brahma had 10 sons just by thought, and that's why they were called Manas Putra, because they are born from thought. So here they invoked, they had 3 children, and this is a scenario in which Pandu, he wants to have more children. So he says, now you invoke some other god. So they also bless you. So she's saying that, she's just giving him some information that if a woman is who has intercourse with 4 different men is known by this name, and the one who has intercourse with 5 men is called by this name. So she's just giving some information about what such women are called. So I don't know what your objection is over here. But anyway, I have opened this whole scenario because I had to search where in English this thing was presented. So here it is, and he said, so god of wind came riding upon a deer and said, O Kunti, am I to give you? Tell me what is in your heart. And she said, O best of celestials, a child endued with great strength and largeness of limbs and capable of humbling the pride of everybody. And so she was invoking. So god of wind gave her a child, Bhima, who had so much of power and strength. And this is how she invoked other gods. So I don't find anything wrong with this. Now let's go to the 5th one. Here it says Mahabharat Adi Parv section 198. So again and again you're quoting the history book. Now he says, how, O illustrious one, can one woman become the wife of many men without being defiled by sin? Oh, tell me truly all about this. Hearing these words, Vyasa replied, this practice, O king, being opposed to usage and the Vedas, hath become obsolete. So because of Vedas, this uh, polyandry, I think they are talking about, has become obsolete. Nobody does polyandry. So actually, there are too many things to show you, but 1 second. Okay, this is done. Um, one second. Okay, wait a second. So Mahabharat, yeah. So there is nothing in this. Um, he's just saying that this was a bad practice which happened earlier, but because the Vedas came, it became obsolete. So what is wrong in this? I don't understand. Then let's come to the sixth one. Sixth one says, Panchashuda, again you have shown deception. DCCI Ministries, Hatun Tash, you have shown deception. Jay, Narendra Sahoo. Like you are showing me again history, Mahabharat Anushasan Parv, section 38, and that too cherry picking, little bit from somewhere without giving any context. So Panchashud said, even if highborn and endued with beauty and possessed of protectors, women wish to transgress the restraints assigned to them. This fault truly stains them. O Narad, there is nothing else that is more sinful than women. Verily, women are the root of all faults. That is certainly known to thee. I don't even have to open anything, Even if I go by your slide, you have taken this slide from, I'll tell you how. Here, it's the Anushasanika Parva. So Yudhishthir said, O best of the Bharats, I wish to hear your discourse on the disposition of women. Women are said to be the root of all evil. They are all regarded as exceedingly frail. So Bhishma is telling, Yudhishthir has asked a question about women. I want to hear what do you feel about Bhishma. Now you have to know who is Bhishma. Bhishma is a bachelor. He was till his death he remained a bachelor, and he is the grandfather of Yudhishthir. Yudhishthir was the son born to Kunti through god of justice. So he is a very just person, and he wants to know his opinion about women. So he says that I have heard a discourse between the celestial Rishi Narad. Narad is a celestial being who goes from place to place, and he is like a news person, you know. So he's a Rishi Narad and the celestial courtesan Panchashud. So Panchashud is a dancing nymph, in the heavens or whatever, and they are not there for having lust, because let me tell you, this is one thing Abrahamical people believe. Let me take a pause here, one second. See, Abrahamical people believe that that there are apsaras in the heaven, and they are there for you to have sex after you die. So this is not true, because in Hinduism people die and then they go to heaven. So we are not given bodies like in Quran it is written that you will get your bodies back, and then you will go to these 72 virgins, and you'll do sex and all that, and they are talking about 1000 apsaras and I don't know what not nonsense. So here, apsaras were the skilled dancers, or they are in the dancing skills they had, or playing musical instruments or things like that, and they are just nymphs in the heaven. They are not meant for having sex or anything, because you don't have flesh or body when you go to heaven. It's only your soul which travels, and that too for the time period that you have done good. It's not for eternity. Anyway, coming back to it, so where was I? Yeah. So this Panchashud is a nymph who is Apsara. She dances, and she is giving. Since she is a woman, she is telling Narad, the rishi, about women. It is her opinion of women, that what are the maximum harm that women can do. So she is saying that women can be like that. She's not saying that all women are like that, but rather she's saying that I'm just checking if I'm sharing this. Yeah. So she's just saying here that this is what her opinion that is about women, that they are capable of making such things, doing such things. So she says women can be the root of all faults. She says Women, even when possessed of husbands having fame and wealth of handsome features and completely obedient to them, are prepared to disregard them if they get the opportunity. This, O person one, is a sinful disposition with us women, that casting off modesty, we cultivate the companionship of men of sinful habits and intentions. Women betray a liking for those men who court them. So, this is all the capabilities that women have of doing harm. And a dancing nymph is telling that to a wandering rishi in the heavens. So this is the she's talking about women on this earth, the women who have been doing these things. She's talking about the potential of these kind of women. She's not talking about all women, and this is her opinion. So I already showed you that. So now I want to tell you that you know what rishis are. Those rishis who drink the rays of the sun. I want to tell you, I will make a statement over here. All your Catholic priests, your popes, your Baptist church ministers, or your Presbyterian church ministers, any of your church ministers, pastors, reverends, popes, Catholics, bishops, whatever, they do not even come close to the feet of these rishis. Why? Those rishis who drink the rays of the sun all speak highly of abstention from meat. The self created Manu has said that the man who does not eat meat, or who does not kill living creatures, or who does not cause them to be killed, is a friend of all creatures. Such a man is incapable of being oppressed by any creature. He enjoys the confidence of all living beings. He always enjoys the praise of the pious. The virtuous Narad has said that the man who wishes to multiply his own flesh by eating the flesh of other creatures meets with disaster. This is the same Mahabharat Anushasan Parv 115.9 to 12 verses. You fail to notice these. See, we believe in Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, means the whole world is a family. We don't say that, oh, those who are Hindus are only our families, and those who come into this, our so-called gods, only they will go to heaven. We never say that. Only Christians say that, the Islamists say that, and I don't know about the Jews. Maybe they say that too. So here, if you multiply your flesh by eating flesh of living creatures, you will always meet with disaster. And everybody in the Bible and the people in the Islam, they all eat meat. So they have already killed creature, a creation of God, who was having his life, enjoying his life, and you have so many options of food available, but you chose to kill a person and eat it. So you are not even close to these rishis who meditate and who have penanced in the meditated in the forest for so long, and they have connected themselves to the cosmos, and they think about only the welfare of the whole world. They think the whole world is their family. Now let's come to the seventh point. Then you showed me this slide which says why the change in Sanatan Dharma now. Let's see what this slide says. It has been heard by us that there was a great rishi of the name Uddalaka who had a son named Shvetaketu, who also was an ascetic of merit. O thou of eyes like lotus petals, the present virtuous practice hath been established. By that Shvetaketu from anger, hear thou the reason. One day in the presence of Shvetaketu's father, a Brahman came and catching Shvetaketu's mother by the hand, told her, let us go. Beholding his mother seized by the hand and taken away apparently by force, the son was greatly moved by wrath. Seeing his son indignant, Uddalaka addressed him and said, be not angry, O son, this is the practice sanctioned by antiquity. So this is again the same thing that you said earlier about long time ago, You know, the slide that we talked about earlier is the same continuation of that slide which you have deceptively produced in two different places because you googled the article and got it. So it is the same thing. Like, it's talking about there were bad practices that were in the ancient times. Women were given equality in freedom that was enjoyed by men, and this practice was stopped by Uddalak, and he made rules for men and women, and that's how it's taught in the Vedas. So if you are saying why change in Sanatan Dharma now? So that's a stupid thing to say. First of all, you don't even know what is Sanatan. Sanatan means eternal. It can never be changed. From the time the cosmos started and the Big Bang theory that goes along with the Vedas, the Puranas tell us how this whole universe came into being, and it goes along with the Big Bang. And dharma means a righteous duty. It can never change. It is not that in ancient times it was something else and today it is something else. It is the same. Pedophilia is a sin, whether it was Muhammad doing it in the 14th century, or maybe it was 6th century, anybody doing this, or today. It can never change. People make this stupid excuse that things have, dharma can change. Dharma never changes. Yes, people do not follow the dharma. And in many olden times, people were not following it. And it's the same thing. It's the same continuation of the same. I opened the website where I showed, um, this one. It's the same one. So see, we had already read this much part above here. Um, Husbands faithfully, remember from the previous slides, and this, and now this one is the next one that you said Uddalaka in his story, but this thing has become obsolete now because of the Vedas, because the Vedas established the dharma, because the cosmic data was taken by the rishis, and they provided dharma and knowledge to all people to follow dharma. It's not that there is change in Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan Dharma was always the same. When with the knowledge of Vedas came the knowledge of Sanatan Dharma. Now let me read you something from the Bible. Let's read about Genesis 19:30. Lot and his two daughters left Zoar and settled in the mountains, for he was afraid to stay in Zoar. He and his two daughters lived in a cave. One day the older daughter said to the younger, "Our father is old and there is no man around here to give us children, as is the custom all over the earth. Let's get our father to drink wine and then sleep with him and preserve our family line through our father." Then that night they got their father to drink wine, and the older daughter went in and slept with him. He was not aware of it when she lay down or when she got up. The next day the older daughter said to the younger, "Last night I slept with my father. Let's get him to drink wine again tonight, and so you go in and sleep with him so we can preserve our family line through our father." So they got their father to drink wine that night also, and the younger daughter went in and slept with him. Again, he was not aware of it when she lay down or when she got up. So both of Lot's daughter became pregnant by their father. Can you imagine the incest? How shameful it is? So Hatun Tash or Jay or Praveen or Narendra Sahoo, why didn't you read about this before pointing towards history that happened in a long time ago, in ancient time, before even the Vedas came into existence? What was they are talking about freedom of women? Why don't you look and read Genesis, where Lot's daughter are becoming pregnant by their own father? This is the height of immorality. and they also bore children with their own father. The older daughter had a son who was Moab and the father of the Moabites, and the younger daughter had a son and she was named Ben Ammi, and he is the father of the Ammonites of today. So, this is how shameful it is. And let me tell you another thing, that if you go in Utah, these Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, they have this prophet um, George Jeffrey or something, who's a polygamist, and he has married so many wives, like 17 wives, and the wives are aged from 12 years old, 8 years old to older. So many children, little kids he has married, and now he's in jail, and from there only he's operating, and he calls himself a prophet. So why don't you destroy the churches which are doing this kind of evil right under your nose? Why do you want to go and point a finger towards other people? Why not cleanse your own Christianity first? Then why don't you go and cleanse these Catholic priests who are abusing 300 students in Newfoundland, one of the convents, the boys' convent? They were abused by the priests there. Why don't you go and cleanse that? All you just want to wash your hands off that by saying that, oh yeah, they are not Christians or they are not this. I don't know what kind of lame excuses you will make, but I'm talking about humanity. History is just there for us to take note that these things should not happen. It doesn't matter where it happened, but evil things should not be repeated. That's our main criteria. But what the Catholics, what you showed me a slide was something, some woman who was free and she was going with another person. After that, the Vedas rules were there that came into existence and that practice stopped. So something good came out. Because of Vedas, people started knowing Dharma. So that is a good thing. But what Christianity is giving, it's abusing in the present world. It is doing all these evils in the modern world. That is so shameful. Let's go back. The 8th slide. Then you showed me Yesha Dharma Sanatana, polyandry is old and eternal Dharma. So you said Adi Parv, you said even this is eternal virtue. When they had all finished speaking, Vyasa said, O amiable one, how shalt be saved from the consequence of untruth? Even this is eternal virtue. I will not, O king of the Panchalas, discourse on this before you all, but thou alone shalt listen to me when I disclose how this practice hath been established, and why is it to be regarded as old and eternal. There is no doubt that what Yudhishthira has said is quite conformable to virtue. So this is talking about the Vaivahik Parv of the Adi Parv. So they are talking about polyandry, because Draupadi had 5 husbands. So now let's know about Draupadi. So Draupadi is the daughter of the king of Panchal. Draupadi in her previous life asked for a boon to Lord Shiva. According to that boon, her husband should have 5 qualities. So she prayed and she meditated, and Lord Shiva was pleased. So she said that she wanted to marry somebody who should be a symbol of dharma. Then she again said that he should be as strong as God Hanuman. Then she said he should be skilled in archery as God Parshurama. Then he said he should be intelligent as Devaguru Brahaspati. Then he should be most handsome man on the earth. She repeated 5 times her boons. So God gave her 5 husbands with all these qualities. The first one, Yudhishthir, was a symbol of dharma. Then strong was Bhim, skilled in archery was Arjun, intelligent was Nakul, and handsome was Sahadev. So that is why she got all these five, because of the boon. Because when you ask a boon, you have to be careful. So marriage with five people, polyandry, was not an active occurrence. You will not find polyandry anywhere in India. But when Kunti, without knowledge, asked Pandavas to share their arms, like these people were in the forest, and the brothers, there was a swayamvar being held, and swayamvar means when the girl chooses a husband herself. So they passed the test. Arjun passed the test. So he got Draupadi. He won Draupadi in that. Swayamvar, and Draupadi was to marry Arjun. But when they came, they wanted to surprise their mother, and their mother was busy, and they said that we have brought something. So they used to go for alms. She didn't know that they were going for this Swayamvar and trying to pass the test and get the girl. She thought that they were going, and every day they used to beg for food, and that's how they were supposed to live there. So she said that why don't you distribute it among all you five brothers. Word which was spoken used to come true. Every word was to be come true. So now everybody was shocked because they had not heard about polyandry, because this was not something which was in common. Like you are showing in your slide that polyandry was used to happen, that is false. Polyandry never happened. That is why everybody was shocked, and they went to Panchal to express their opinion and wanted to consult with Drupad. On that occasion, there came Vyasa. Now, Vyasa is a rishi, so he is a learned man, so everybody wanted to ask him about what his opinion was. Everybody inquired Vyasa about what to do, whether to follow the mother's word or to withdraw from what Kunti said. Vyasa asked each and everybody's opinion before he proceeds. See, I have taken that extract from the English there and I posted it on my slide, because this was one of the earlier slides that I made. So I was doing it this way. Then later I thought it would be too much copy pasting from the scriptures. So I started pasting the links. Drupada said that this is not a fair match, as he had never heard of this, and a woman with more than three husbands will be called nothing but a whore. Drishtadum said, this is not morally good and never been a practice before. Yudhishthir said he heard an incident before like the same situation. He cites Gautam clan Jatila. So he said, now Yudhishthir says that he has heard of something like this because there was Jatila who was married to seven Saptarishis. Saptarishis are seven sages. And these are also stars. When you see in the sky, the seven stars, which one? These are called Saptarishis. So Saptarishis, they heard of one Jatila who was married to all the seven of the rishis. And Hiranyaksha's sister Pracheti, she was married to 10 brothers. So there are two polyandry instances only in the history. There is no polyandry happening in India. And so your slide that you're trying to show that polyandry used to happen in Sanatan Dharma, that is false. Now I will explain you these two situations. When everyone finished speaking, Vyasa supported Yudhishthira's opinion and said, will disclose how the practice came into existence. So Jatila Devi, the first example of polyandry, who was married to the seven rishis. Jatila Devi, also called as Maha Maya, is the daughter of Bhudevi, and she was brought up by the trees and tulsi plants. So she was the daughter of Bhudevi. Bhu is earth. So she was the daughter of earth, and she was only brought up by the trees, and tulsi are the basil leaves. So the basil plants and the trees, they brought her up. She, through her intense penance, had got the boon of ever remaining a virgin, irrespective of consequences and number of marriages she had. She will always remain a virgin no matter how many times she can marry. She was a Mahapavitra streep just like Draupadi and got married to the seven sages, also called as Saptarishis. So she had this boon that she will always remain a virgin. So she married the seven rishis. Her significance is from Taittiriya Upanishad, where she is known for her wisdom, and the Udyoga Parva of the Mahabharata. So this is the only one instance of polyandry in. Now let's talk about the second instance. Pracheti. She is the sister of Hiranyaksha the demon, who was the avatar of Jay, the divine gatekeeper of Vaikuntha. So Pracheti was also a demon because the brother was a demon and she was also a demon. She is an example of polyandry in the Vedic times, as she was the only woman to marry 10 brothers, but unlike Draupadi, she was a demoness. Nothing apart from this is mentioned in the Prahlad Charitable as well as the Bhagavad Puran, where there is just a mention of she wailing over her brother's death in spite of having 10 husbands and 9 could protect her from losing her brother. In some texts, she is correlated with Holika, who had the boon of not getting burnt from fire but got burnt when she tried to harm Prahlad, the great devotee of Mahavishnu. So we have two polyandry examples. So Yudhishthir told that he had heard of that one married to the 7 sages who was the virgin, always a virgin. And the second example is of a demoness. Let's come to the 9th slide now. So in nutshell, polyandry was not something common in Sanatan Dharma. It never happened in Sanatan Dharma. It doesn't happen. Now you talked about Sanatan Dharma is following Manu. This is like accusing somebody, oh Christian, you are following Bible. What's wrong with following Manu? Manu was one of the sons of Brahma, the creator. And as I told you earlier, that Brahma had created 10 sons through just thought. They were called Manasputra. Now you say that Acharaha Parmo Dharma. And I'm just not going through each one of them. Acharaha Parmo Dharma means the conduct is the main dharma. The righteous duty is our primary conduct. That's what it says. The rule of conduct is transcendent law. Whether it is to be taught in the revealed text or in the sacred tradition, hence a twice born man. And I also explained you who's a twice born. The one who attains knowledge from a guru, who possesses regard for himself, should be always careful to follow it. So I don't see anything wrong from it. In fact, it is saying the goodness of Sanatan Dharma, that your conduct is the primary thing. And as I said earlier, that Swami Kriyanand says that Hinduism is not worship of idols but of ideals. We worship the ideals. Okay, so next go to the 10th slide. This says, what is Aryavart? It says about authentic sources Manusmriti, and it talks about Aryavata from a Brahmana born in that country. Let all men on earth learn their several usages. That country which lies between the Himvrat and the Vindhya mountains, to the east of Prayag and to the west of Vinasana, the place where the river Saraswati disappears, is called the Madhya Desa, the central region. But the tract between these two mountains just mentioned, which extends as far as the eastern and the western oceans, Dubai, is called Aryavrata, or the country of the Aryans. And as I explained earlier, Arya was the terminology used for like a gentleman. Not gentleman, but much higher. Like a highly virtuous person was called an Arya, and the people who did bad stuff, they were called Anarya. That land where the black antelope naturally roams, one must know, to be fit for the performance of sacrifices different from that, is country of the Malechas or the barbarians. See, the Malechas are written barbarians who are hunters, who give pain to living creatures, basically. So Aryavarta, it's explaining what is Aryavrata. Aryavrata is the land where the Aryans live, means the people who possess high virtues. What is wrong in that? And here I have two sources. One is Wikipedia. What is Aryavarta? Let us see that. Okay, my browser has stopped responding. I'll have to check in. Okay, so Aryavarta. Let's see. So it's a land of the Aryans and northern subcontinent and Indo-Aryan tribe. So it's explaining where the region is. So I don't understand what's wrong in that. And let's see this. From the Puranas and Itihasas, Aryavarta is another name for Bharat. There is also a place of that name. According to Smriti, the land lying between the Himalayas and the Vindhyas is called Aryavrat. Shloka number 15, verse 15, chapter 325, Shanti Parv Mahabharata. And story of Aryavarta. So there is nothing wrong with it. It's just telling you the land where all the Aryans or the highly virtuous people lived. Let's go to the 11th one, which says, killing even children to establish dharma. Now you quoted Matsya Puran 178.6 to 22 verses. He is my enemy. He is the destroyer of many elders. He lived in the oceans, destroyed the demons Madhu and Kataba. It can be said that as long as he lives, the war between us will not end. There will be a most fearful fight between him and me. He has killed many demons in this battle. He is very cruel. He has not shown his clemency even to the children and the women of the demons killed. He is shameless. He is Vishnu. He is the heaven of the Devas. He sleeps on the sea serpent. So you have quoted Talukdar of Audh. Okay. And you have underlined, he has not shown his clemency even to the children and the women of the demons killed. So you're trying to say that this Vishnu, he has killed the demons, females and the children. Right? So now let me go ahead and show you from, let me close these ones. I want to tell you a little bit about Kalanemi. You know who was Kalanemi? Kalanemi, he was a demon, and he was really bad. This explains the meaning of his word. See, in Padma Purana, Kalanemi fought on the side of Soma and the rest of the Daityas. So he fought from the side of demons in this war called Tarak Maya war against the Devas. Devas are the gods, like the virtues. The virtues are called Devas. He showered mountains upon the Devas, who were terrified by the very sight of him, as he had grown to immense proportions. He breathed flames from his mouth and launched a number of divine missiles on his foes. Vishnu rode upon Garuda in order to meet him in battle. He shouted obscenities at the preserver deity, who merely smiled. So Vishnu never said anything back to him, because gods never speak bad. So he said many obscenities, he hurled abuses, looks like he was Islamic probably, and announced his impending doom. Furious Kalanemi launched a multitude of weapons on Vishnu's chest from his 100 arms. So this Kalanemi, he had 100 arms, and he had many weapons in those 100 arms, and he simultaneously launched them all on Vishnu. When the Asura smashed Garuda's head, is it big enough? Yeah. With his mace. Now Garuda is a big kind of a bird, which was a vehicle for who Vishnu seats on Garuda. So he destroyed Garuda's head with his mace. Then when he did that, then Vishnu retaliated. by employing the Sudarshan Chakra to chop all the former's arms, causing his lifeless form to shake the earth upon his collapse. And he had 6 sons, and so all his children will start this demon dynasty. So they were killed, probably. It is not okay. Let me go to another one. Sorry, where did this disappear? No, 1 second. So says read Matsya Puran, page 177. So let me read Matsya Puran. Let me close this Veda. Because my system is hanging up because I've opened so many documents. Okay, so Matsya Puran I got in English. He is my enemy. He is the destroyer of my elders. Right? You read in the slide there. He lived in the oceans, destroyed the demons Madhu and Kataba. It'll be a most fearful fight between him and me. He has killed many demons in the battle. He's very cruel. He has not shown his, and he's shameless, and he has killed these children and everybody. So he has killed. So that's how we got this. But he was cruel demon. He was cruel demon, and he used to do bad things. If you read from this chapter onwards, wanted to see. He did not follow dharma, meaning his righteous duty, but he did bad deeds contrary to the laws of dharma, means he did wrong deeds. Other things came under his possession. If not being able to attain these 5 things, he became angry. He wanted to enthrone himself in place of Vishnu. So he wanted Vedas, dharma, forbearance, truth, and Lakshmi. But these 5 things he did not have, so he became jealous of Vishnu, because Vishnu has all these 5 things. So he became angry, and he wanted to place himself in place of Vishnu, and he appeared before him. And he saw the Lord riding on his Garuda. See, so you picked it from here onwards, but you didn't read the earlier passage where he says that he was trying to snatch things from Vishnu, and he tried and attacked him. He hurled abuses, and he did. He himself appeared like rain clouds. His carrier was okay. Now they're talking about Vishnu. So he was a demon, and basically Vishnu. He was trying to kill Vishnu with his 100 arms, but Vishnu defeated him and killed him. So that's what it's written in Matsya Puran. Now let me take you to this thing that you have underlined called women and children. Okay, if you go into Ramayana, do you know that in Sanatan Dharma, whenever any war begins, they blow a conch so hard that all the women, if they have by chance come on the battlefield, they should run away, because it's only in Islam they used to capture women and make them sex slaves. But in Hinduism, there is nothing like slavery. And any woman who was caught, first of all, they used to blow a conch so that no woman is caught. They never fought with women. So when Ramchandra, the Lord Rama, was a child, this rishi came to his kingdom and told his father. Let me read in English, probably then you'll understand. So he requested his father to send Lord Rama with him so that he can kill the demons and demonesses who used to come and eat up these rishis meditating in the forest, and they used to cause them a lot of harm. So here, this is Valmiki Ramayana, Balkand, and chapter 26. It says, Rama encounters his first problem, female demoness Tatak, also known as Tadaka, and eliminates her at the orders of Vishwamitra. But see, I'm not going to read everything. I just want to read the specific verse. He refuses. When he was asked to kill the demoness, he said, "No, she's a female. I cannot kill her." And when he said that I will make her see, as it is her feminine. See, look at this verse 26:12 says, as it is her feminineness is protecting her, and I do not really attempt to kill her, but I intend to terminate her impudence and mobility. So he wanted to make her immobile, and that so she does not attack other people, because she was trying to eat up people and trying to she ate up many like if you read further, like not further but earlier passages, you will come to know that she was causing a great amount of harm. She was eating up all the rishis and had created havoc. And she was very big and very tall and very big demon, giant size. And they have explained how she had a distorted face and proportion. She was gigantic, and she was laughing, and she had magical powers. And uh, she rushed over Rama alone, swinging her arms. But Brahma sage Vishwamitra, daunted, sounded her off and said to Rama and Lakshmana, "Let you be safe and victorious." So he blessed them. Flinging up dreadful dust on those two Raghavas, Tatak baffled them for a while, and with a massive cloud of dust. She was also a She knew all these magical powers, so she created a cloud of dust. Then, taking hold of witchery, she inundated both Raghavas, meaning Lord Rama and his brother Lakshman, with highly torrential stone rain, by which Rama became indignant. On forestalling her effusive stone storming with her arrow storm, Rama even mutilated both her arms with arrows while she rushed towards them. With her arms severed and fatigued, she started to roar extremely at the nearby, and then provoked the Lakshman, made her to lose her ears and tip of nose by cutting them off. That gross changer vanished after variously altering her aspects, and then on baffling them with her illusoriness and discharging stone storms, she moved about appallingly. And on seeing both Rama and Lakshman, who are being overspread by storms of stones from all over, then the illustrious sage Vishwamitra spoke. "Enough is your compassion, Rama. She is sinister, behaviorally malevolent, a hinderer of rituals, and this Yakshi get a grip on herself in a short time by her illusory powers. So don't give her time. She will do her illusory powers. She is sinister. So you are being compassionate that you are not killing her. Sun is going to set, and then everything will be, because there is no war after sunset. This is war ethics followed by everybody. And demons, after dusk, they get more, they become unassailable because they get all these negative energy in the dark. So when Vishwamitra addressed him, Rama, displaying his capacity in sonic archery, forestalled that Yakshi who had gone into invisibility and storming stone storms with his arrows. And when the arrays of arrows obstructed her who possesses illusional powers, she dashed towards Rama and Lakshmana, blaring stridently. And Rama struck an arrow in her chest, who is invading and speedily swooping down like a thunderbolt, and thus she readily fell down and totally dropped dead too. On seeing this, so at first he was not trying to, so he said that I'm just going to, cut her nose or make her immobile. But because we don't attack women, it's against attacking women. So that's that. Now let's go back. In Atharva Veda, it's Atharva Veda 5.21.3, it says, that they blow conch in the starting of the battle, so that if any woman has come, she may leave the battlefield. Now, also, I will read to you Manusmriti, verse 90 onwards. Okay, here. So, verse 90, Manusmriti. It says, when he fights with his foes in battle. So, these are the Manusmritis, our ancient law book. What does it say about? You showed me a slide of this women killing women and children. So, in that answer, I'm also showing you Manusmriti, what our law book says, that when he fights with his foes in battle, let him not strike with weapons concealed in wood, nor with such as are barbed, poisoned, or points of which are blazing fire. So these are laws for kings. If you are in the battle, how you should fight? So you should not turn back, but fight with your foes in the battle, but do not strike them with weapons, which are poisoned. Let me enhance this. Sorry, I should have done that before. Um so 90 onwards. So do not, strike with weapons which are concealed. So always fight, in the open. Be transparent. Don't fight with barbed or poisoned arrows and all that. Let him not strike one who in flight has climbed on an eminence, nor a eunuch. So don't strike the one who, he's running away from battlefield, or a eunuch who's a transgender. We don't try and kill transgenders, or who joins the palms of its hands. Joining palms of hands means he's requesting that please leave my life, please spare my life. So don't kill him. Nor one who flees with flying hair, nor who runs from the battlefield. Don't shoot an arrow from behind. Don't kill him from behind, even though he is your enemy. Nor one who sits down, or who sits in the battlefield, he is afraid he sat down. Nor one who says, I'm dying, or who comes in your refuge. Never kill these people. So we have war ethics. We were not like, uh, you know, uh, Abrahamic religion people who tried and converted people forcibly and waged war on them. Nor one who sleeps, nor one who has lost his coat of mail, nor one who is naked. So if he somebody is sleeping, or who has doesn't have ammunition, who is naked, who is disarmed, or who does not take part in fight, means he's just standing there, he doesn't want to fight. Nor one who is fighting with another foe. Or suppose two people are fighting and you come and start, like two against one. Never do that. So being fair. See how virtuous this is. Do you have any book who has written such virtuous things? By malicious means only winning over your enemy. That is all I have seen until now in Islamic books. Nor one whose weapons are broken, nor one afflicted with sorrow, nor one who has been grievously wounded, nor one who is in fear, nor one who has turned to flight. Remember the duty. So, somebody who is sorrowful, who is grievously, who is injured, who is in fear, never. But the Kshatriya who is slain in battle, while he turns back in fear, takes upon himself all the sin of his master. So, anybody who runs away from the battlefield, he will only have sin upon him. And whatever merit a man who is slain in fight may have gained for the next world, all his master take. So all these are against this. Women are never to be attacked. Okay. According to Sanatan Dharma, we don't capture women. You have never heard of slavery in Sanatan Dharma. There has never been slavery. There has been slavery in Christianity, there has been slavery in Islam, but never in Hinduism. Because we believe that we are children of God. We don't believe in master and slave relationship. Okay, so There are examples. For example, even when one how many 1 lakh or so many princesses, 1,000 or 1,600 something. There was a demon called Narkasur. He had captured these virgins. He wanted to sacrifice them, so he got all the from the neighboring states. He kidnapped all these princesses, and then he captured them and kept them in his own fort. So Krishna's wife told him to help, save these princesses. So he went and killed Narkasur. He released all the princesses and told them to go to their kingdoms. He did not want to capture them and make them his wives or slaves or whatever. He wanted to return them. He wanted them to return to their respective kingdoms with honor. Ram gave his kingdom to Vibhishan. Ram fought a Ravan who took away his wife, but after killing Ravan, he did not acquire that kingdom, but he gave his kingdom to his Ravan's own brother Vibhishan, because we never capture booty of other people. And Sugriv, he fought with Bali, and he gave that kingdom to Sugriv, Bali's brother. So we never take that. That is against ethics. Sanatan ethics are so high that you cannot even begin to imagine them. Okay, so I will also show you something from Harivansh Puran. Which one was this? Okay, this one was done, I think. Now I've forgotten why I had written this. Harivansh Puran. Okay, something about Yama and 1 second. Yeah, this Matsya Puran is done, and Manusmriti I read for the previous one. Twice born and all that. I already told you about that. So many things have been put that I am now confused which one was which. Anyways, I've shown you enough. I'll get back to it afterwards. Now I'll show you in Bible. You're talking about the women and children. In Bible, it is called harem, and it means total annihilation. Consider the book of 1 Samuel, where God instructs King Saul to attack the Amalekites and utterly destroy all that you have and do not spare them. God says through the prophet Samuel, but kill both man and woman, infant and nursing child, ox and sheep, and camel and donkey. So here in your Bible also, God is telling to kill women, infant and nursing child. Nursing child, infant, woman. So please, Hatun Tash, Praveen, all those, Narendra Sahoo, Jay, please note your own books first. I'm wondering, like, if I should stop here. There are 26 slides in total, 26 points in total, and we are on which one? We are on 12th or something like that. Yeah, We have covered 11 points so far. So let me finish 2 more points, then I'll be totally half. Like 26 points, will be done 13 points today. Okay, so let's go to the 12th point. It says Brahma Puran 106.121. There is a hell named Gudapaka. It is full of boiling eddies of treacle and molasses. A man responsible for mixture and caste is thrown into it. He is burnt therein. Board of Scholars, edited by J.L. Shastri. So, non-compliance to Varnashram is adharma. So, Brahma Puran, they have quoted 106.121. So, let me read Manusmriti English, because all the dharma is coming from the law. So, sorry, Manusmriti, page 69. Instead of 69, I opened 79, I think. Okay. So here it says, let me read from here. Manu has declared to be the summary of the law of the four castes. If a female of the caste sprung from a Brahman and a Shudra female. So now we are talking about this ancient law book. It is not our holy scripture. As again I will repeat myself, our holy scriptures are our Bhagavad Gita and the Vedas. But there is nothing wrong in other books also. So let me read it from Manu, this law book. Manu has declared to be the summary of the law of the four castes. And I earlier told you there is nothing called caste. This is an English terminology given by the English. It was Varna system, and in a family, 4 sons could belong to different Varnas. Depending upon their skill and aptitude, they became Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya or Shudra. So here Manu has declared to be the summary of the law of the four castes. If a female of the caste has sprung from a Brahman, so there is a Brahmin female, learned one, and a Shudra female bear children. Okay, so Brahman is a man and female is a Shudra. Children to one of the highest caste, the inferior tribe attains the highest caste within the 7th generation. So after 7th generation, it will become okay. The Shudra will become Brahman automatically. In 7 generations, this gap will be filled. Thus, a Shudra attains the rank of a Brahman, and in a similar manner, a Brahmana sinks to the level of a Shudra, but know that it is the same with the offspring of a Kshatriya or of a Vaishya. So now, as I told you earlier, I'm not going to read all this, but you can take it from this page 69 of Manusmriti. You can read it here. It is giving you all the combinations and who will be what and all that. So they will be attained in the 6th or 7th generation. They'll become of higher caste. Now, what I want to tell you is that I want to tell you that in Sanatan Dharma, we have karma system. Like if you do good karma, you will go to heaven. If you do bad karma, you will go to hell. But the good karma doesn't mean that you go to heaven permanently. You will go there for the time period that you have done good, and then you'll be born again. But unless you attain moksha and meet God. Similarly, the bad things that you do, that also you will attain the hell for a limited period of time till you have done bad stuff, and then you will be again born. So it goes on like this. God doesn't forgive your sins, because forgiveness of sins is actually injustice, which I have seen in both Christianity as well as in Islam, that God forgives. God should not forgive, because whatever bad you have done, you should repent. You should face the consequences. So definitely in Islam, it is that Allah forgives everything. So you keep raping and keep asking for forgiveness. And other than shirk, He forgives everything. So that is unjust thing. So anyway, coming back to this point, let me off this. Excuse me. Okay, sorry about that. So did I show you this Brahma Puran? Okay. So here, this is Brahma Puran, yeah. So this is talking about hell. The hell known as Mahavichi is flooded with blood. This is another hell, which is Kumbhapika. So what I want to tell you is that even our hells are varying nature. Like if suppose somebody steals some bread or steals some food, that doesn't mean that you put him for eternity in hell, like in Islam. Or in Christianity, I'm not sure, so I won't comment. But there is no one hell for eternity, which I know is there in Bible. One hell for eternity and hell for and heaven for eternity. We don't have anything like this. So it is more fair. So depending upon the level of bad deeds that you have done, you will be sent to that respective hell. That's the thing. So this is what it is. So Buddha Pakar, going back again to your slide, it says about this that there is a hell where people will be boiled and of the Varn Sankars for mixture in caste. Because see, as I told you earlier, that Brahmanas are penalized more. So if a Brahmin and an unearned person and Daku means a plunderer, marry. So that's considered mixing of varnas. So you are not supposed to do that. So that leads to this kind of hell, and in which the punishment is only very trivial. It is you are going to boil in molasses. Molasses are when you make juice, sugarcane juice, or you get molasses. So boiling molasses you'll be put. So it's a very trivial kind of hell, because you did some kind of a bad thing, that you married a child of you married maybe a plunderer and a Brahmin married. So that's wrong. Because of that, you will be put in this trivial hell. So now if you go into this um, Pratham Mandal of this Rig Veda 120.8, it says the definition of Shudra. Who is Shudra? In Sanskrit, Shu means Shu. If you split the word, see, in Sanatan Dharma, every word meaning is contained in that word itself. So when you say Shudra, and if you split the word, it is Shudravati, means the one who does the work fast. So Shudra literally means a person who does the work faster. This is the definition which is given in Rig Veda 1.20.6. Now let us discover the hell in Bible. Do you know that when I was a little girl, I went to I was studying in a Christian school, and I used to have classes in scriptures as well as in moral science. So scripture classes were basically Bible study classes, and they were used to tell us stories of Bible studies. So I went there and I asked my scripture teacher that if was suppose there is a very good person and he's very virtuous and all his life he has led a very nice life, but he doesn't believe in Christ, and there is another person who is a plunderer and he robs and tortures people, but he has later accepted Christ. So who will go to heaven? She said the plunderer. And when I was little in fifth or sixth grade, I knew this answer was wrong, because this is injustice. Why should a virtuous person go into hell just because he doesn't believe in Christ? So that's what it is. It's just like making followers. Whether it is Islam or in Christianity, the people who are believing in your own faith, they are going to hell no matter how irreligious they are, but they will go to like heaven if they accept Christ. So now let me show it to you from Bible. What the Bible says about hell. Let's see that. So Hatun Tash, before pointing to Sanatan Dharma hells, which the hell that you showed me was a very trivial hell where there is boiling of molasses and he'll be there for mixing of castes. And I explained you why it was important. Your hell is how everyone will exist eternally either in heaven or hell. So you are eternally there. No matter how much degree of intensity of bad somebody has done, suppose somebody has taken a bread piece or somebody has robbed a bank, they will both be suffering eternity in hell. Everyone has only one life in which to determine their destiny. Heaven is hell is determined by whether a person believes, puts their trust in Christ alone to save them. So it depends on whether or not you accept Christ. Hell was designed originally for Satan and demons. Hell will punish the sin of those who reject Christ. Means if even if you are a virtuous person, if you belong to Sanatan Dharma or any other Jewish person or something, but you will go to hell if you don't believe in Christ. Hell is conscious torment. Hell is eternal and irreversible. And there are many things. It will be total annihilationism. Who will die? A person who will die an animal, he will cease to exist. So there are so many things. When I was little, I was shown in my school, there was a video shown, mass video to all the children about hell. And they were to scare the children that if you don't believe in Christ, that you will go to hell. So in Sanatan Dharma, we don't send people to hell if you don't believe in Sanatan gods. We don't send you to hell. If you are a virtuous person and if you have believed in all, if you have followed, if you have led a virtuous life and if you followed Dharma and you have stuck to all these virtues and you've done good, then you will attain the reward of that for the time period that you have done good. And as I said earlier, Hindu gods are not many. There is only one God, Brahma. He can, and why we place idols, I will tell you, we place idols because it is easier to focus on idols. I'll come back to it later. Please tell me now, somebody from the comment section, whether I should continue part of it tomorrow or should I finish it today itself. I think I should maybe it's become so lengthy. I will continue it tomorrow because the 13th slide is on Dayanand and there are a lot of slides to read. So maybe we'll do it in two parts. So I'll do the part 2 tomorrow. So I hope that I don't want to make 2 very long videos, otherwise it's very hard to download them. So I'll do the part 2 tomorrow. Thank you everybody for watching, and please like, share, and subscribe the video. Please share it as much as you can. Thank you, and please stay tuned to tomorrow's part 2 of this reply to DCCI Ministries.